Greetings and salutations, this is Brian from Mechbladestudios. Everyone has that first game that they ever played. They keep that game near their hearts for the rest of their lives. For many a gamer, such as myself, that game was an entry from the Super Mario franchise. If you somehow haven't heard of the Super Mario games, I don't know, maybe you're a PlayStation kid or something, they're a series of platformers where the titular Italian plumber has to save Princess Peach from the new CEO of Nintendo, Bowser. The franchise has been going for 35 years now, almost always finding a new and creative execution of a tried and true formula. And I'm here today to list the games that I believe to be the top 10. A few ground rules first. Platformers only, no compilations, no remasters. And also, this is just my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. In fact, perhaps you could put your own list in the comments. One more thing before we start, I have one honorable mention. Super Mario Maker and its sequel could theoretically be called the best Mario games ever because of the potential for endless levels across many different game engines, including some created with ability levels far beyond what Nintendo could have ever imagined. While I can agree with that sentiment, that still makes them giant compilation titles, so I have to officially leave them out. But I have to at least point them out because of their nature. Also, no, I haven't made any levels of Mario Maker 2, but if I ever make any, I'll put their codes in the description or something. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Super Mario Bros. 3. This game came out at the point where Mario and Nintendo were so popular that a movie was made just to advertise this game. The hype was justified though, because this game took a huge step in terms of content, level design, enemies, power-ups, and so on. Why is this so low? There are a lot of annoyances that I forgot about until I recorded footage. The graphics, while boasting better sprite designs, look pale and washed out. Anytime you die in an airship, it runs off, forcing you to chase after it. A number of new annoying enemy types have appeared, including multiple new Brothers enemies. I wish I could put the Super Mario Advance version of the game on the list, but I have to be fair. This one also cemented the different biomes you could travel through in most Mario games, including one I wish would make a comeback outside of Tiny Huge Island from Mario 64, where all the enemies are gigantic. Even if coming back to it results in my opinion of it falling, I still say this is a great game that is absolutely worth playing. Super Mario Land. This is actually the first game I ever played when my parents gave me a Game Boy Color back when I was 5 years old, or back when you needed to turn the car light on or get a worm light to see what you're doing. This is the first Mario game to be released on a portable system. Aside from the monochrome visuals, this is a complete experience with a few twists. Instead of fireballs, you get bouncy super balls that have since appeared in Mario Maker 2. The setting is completely different. You have to save Daisy instead of Peach, and you get exploding Koopas, Sphinxes, Easter Island guys, whatever the hell this is, and an alien trying to kill you. You get shmup sections underwater and in the sky. This game had more going on than some of the console versions at the time. Why is it so low on the list? It's rather short and the jumping physics feel odd. The best way I can explain is that your jumps have a little too much hang time and not enough distance covered. Either way, Super Mario Land is one of my personal favorites. Super Mario Bros., the original. The one that properly started it all, this game took the industry and world by storm. It had great graphics for its time, stellar gameplay, and a catchy as hell soundtrack. What else? I first played this game as a port in the form of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on Game Boy Color. And well, that's it. What hasn't been said about this game has been already said. It's a classic. You've probably played it subconsciously if you've never actually played it. Next. New Super Mario Bros., the original for the DS. Back when new meant something, this was the first 2.5D Mario game to be released. Released in 2006 with the then new DS Lite, New Super Mario Bros. Was the first new 2D platformer since Super Mario World, adding a fresh coat of paint along with a few gameplay tweaks like wall jumps, triple jumps, you name it. I happen to have fond memories of this entry because of the neat power-ups like the Mega Mushroom that lets you crush everything in your path, the Mini Mushroom that lets you access special areas in 2 entire worlds, and the Shell that lets you plow through enemies in a Koopa Shell. The game even had a competitive multiplayer mode, along with a minigame collection from Super Mario 64 DS. It was a great game. It's a shame that every new Super Mario Bros. Game afterward felt like a level pack with this one. When I saw the trailer for U Deluxe, yeah, hard pass. Despite that, the original New Super Mario Bros. Is still, in my eyes, a modern classic. Super Mario Galaxy. This is the one where Nintendo went bonkers with the level design. Running on spheres, upside down, sideways, across multiple gravity fields, it's A lot more disorienting than I remember, but it's still awesome. Also, it would seem Nintendo finally got to make their level structure more like the beginning to end 2D games, while maintaining elements like the hub world and starting areas from the 3D games. The mechanics are fun, though I personally like shooting the star bits more than the spin move, which is just activated by waggling. The graphics prove that the Wii can show decent graphics if the developer tries, and the soundtrack is nothing short of breathtaking. Say it with me. Live orchestral score. Also, my copy of the game came with this collectible coin. I only got Galaxy 2 on Virtual Console a couple years ago, but only played it for about an hour, so I can't really comment on it. What I can comment on is the incredible original space adventure that could only be experienced on the lowly Wii. Super Mario Sunshine. I remember how pissed a lot of people were when this one came out. Why the hell does Mario have a water pack? What's with the voice acting?
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
The answer? Why the hell not? Flood was certainly a strange gameplay mechanic, but it was a lot of fun to use, and the additional nozzles expanded its utility. My personal favorite trick was where you spray a little bit of water in front of you, dive into it, and you could just slide around. The voice acting is indeed rather hokey by today's standards, but I think it adds some charm to the game. For the early GameCube title, this game was gorgeous. Look at that water, look at the lighting, look at the textures. You'd actually want to go on vacation here once someone cleaned up all this slime. In a way, the levels where you can't use Flood were precursors to what would make up most of Galaxy. Despite being seen as somewhat of a black sheep among the 3D games, Sunshine is still an excellent and fun title. Super Mario 3D World. A lot of people seem to sleep on this one. The bizarre nomenclature aside, this one is a sequel to the more appropriately named 3DS game, Super Mario 3D Land, which combined the Wreath of Flagpole goal of the 2D entries with 3-dimensional gameplay, allowing for an amazing variety of levels. It brought 4-player co-op into the mix in a more meaningful way than New Super Mario Bros. Wii and U, and the power-ups are equal parts crazy and helpful, and the overall atmosphere is just so happy and fun. The soundtrack's no slouch either, cementing jazz as the go-to genre for Mario music from then on. Also, you know you made a hell of a bonus game if everyone asked for a standalone game made of just Captain Toad levels, and you actually do it. Even though it was made for a doomed console, Super Mario 3D World is an absolute gem. Super Mario 64. The first 3D Mario game and the flagship launch title for the Nintendo 64, Super Mario 64 is a prime example of how to make the most of limited resources. 3D stages took up a lot of memory, so Nintendo couldn't just make a bunch of one-off stages like the previous games. Instead, they had a smaller amount of overall maps, but gave you different tasks to complete to collect stars. Sure, Mario here looks like a potato now, but back then, this was no short of incredible in the graphics department. The controls are tight for the most part, the levels are fun and memorable, and the soundtrack, which has inexplicably appeared on Spotify by the way, is classic. Some think it hasn't aged particularly well, but I believe it's aged like fine wine. Super Mario World. The first 16-bit Mario game and the flagship launch title for the Super Nintendo, some things never change. This was Mario 3 on steroids. New colorful graphics, branching maps with hidden exits, switches that modify the levels, a cape that lets you cheat, an adorable green dinosaur on the run for tax fraud, and one of the coolest Bowser battles in the series. It also has my favorite title screen music in a video game, which has been playing throughout the segment. I'm pretty sure this is the game that I own the most copies of across different consoles. I have it on the SNES Classic, Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, and the Super Mario Advance version. I remember playing it for the first time on one of those hotel consoles where you had to pay to play a game for an hour or something. For a number of years, this was my absolute favorite game in the series. But in 2017, that spot was overtaken by Super Mario Odyssey. It might seem kind of plebish to go with the newest entry as the best, but listen, with the exception of Mario Maker, this is the culmination of every Mario game made up to that point. It brings back the collectathon gameplay of the true 3D games, 64 and Sunshine, mixing in some Galaxy-type trial levels and gravity puzzles, putting in 8-bit 2D sections, enemies from across the franchise, and outfits ranging from endgame bonuses to box art references to a reference from a Japanese commercial. Cappy is incredibly versatile and fun to use, giving the game several signature mechanics at once, with many different ways to throw them, and of course the ability to take over the large variety of enemies and use their abilities. The graphics, even for the Switch, are beautiful. The soundtrack is addicting. The environments are insane and creative. You're wondering why I'm not getting any new moves in this footage? I 100%ed the game within a month of getting it. That's how amazing this game is. If I were to properly review it, it'd be the show's first scale breaker. It's a game that perfected all that came before it while giving us something new in the meantime. Get a Switch, get this game right now. So that's it for me for now. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my list? What are your favorite Mario games? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like and subscribe for more reviews of anime, video games, and movies. Also hit that bell icon so you know exactly when a new video goes up, and share this video with somebody that might find it helpful. Thanks for watching. This is Brian from Mechbladestudios, signing off.